Well, hello, friends. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I am Pastor Lauren. I'm one of the pastors at Culpeper United Methodist Church. I just have a couple of announcements that I want to share with you from my house this morning before we have our time of worship together today on this second Sunday of Lent. So the first thing I wanted to remind you of is we are worshiping both online and in person at 10 o'clock. So that means you can join us virtually on whatever platform you are watching this video right now, whether that's Facebook or YouTube, whether you found us through our website. You can find us at 10 o'clock there, or you can join us in person in the sanctuary. If you would like to come, we would love to have you in person if you're feeling like that makes sense for you. If you'd like to come in person, all we need you to do is wear a mask from the time that you leave your car until the time that you return to your car. We have ushers and greeters that'll walk you through all of the other things that we'll need from you. We have some basic health questions that we need you to answer, and they will take care of making sure those are answered, making sure we've got a record of who was there, should we need that for contact tracing or anything like that. You'll find that we've got pews spaced apart for physical distancing. We're not having things that multiple folks are touching, but we would love to have you come and join us. If you're feeling ready to come back to in-person worship, we would love to have you. But we do still have our 10 o'clock live stream as well for folks where that's the best choice. Right now, our plan is to continue with that, with 10 o'clock being both online and person for the foreseeable future until you hear from us otherwise that we're trying something different. We have been talking about Easter. I've gotten just a few questions about plans for Easter, so stay tuned. We have some questions we're going to be asking you. We've talked about a variety of some different options, so similarly to how we did a survey before we planned for Christmas Eve, we're planning on something similar for Easter. We'd love to just hear from you. What are you thinking about Easter Sunday worship? Are you feeling like you might want to come in person? Are you feeling like online makes the most sense? So stay tuned for that. We're going to have that survey available shortly. Speaking of that survey, speaking of this communication, one of the things that I have been thinking about recently is that there are probably some questions that you might have for us, that you might have specifically for me or for Pastor John or for Kelly, our executive director, about things that are going on in the life of our church, whether those are questions about our ministry opportunities, like what are we doing for missions right now, or whether those are questions that are more about our finances and our budget. Well, maybe you've got some questions about what's going on with our leadership team and what's happening there. Maybe you've got other questions involving worship or the pandemic or anything like that. So Pastor John and Kelly and I are planning to have some Q&A type sessions. They're all going to be happening virtually. The first one is taking place next Sunday. So we're going to have them for 3 Sundays in a row. They're going to be fully virtually. We will send you a link for that. And then they each are going to have kind of a theme to them. So our first one is going to be relating to missions and what is happening with our missions at the church. So our plan for these sessions is that between Kelly and Pastor John and myself, one or more of us will talk briefly with some updates about what's happening in that area. So for example, when we talk about missions, I'm the pastor who oversees our mission. So I will give you maybe like a 5-minute update of what's happening with some of our missions. And then we're going to open up the floor to anyone who is on our virtual call to ask any questions that you might have, share any comments that you might have. Our hope is that we will stick to the topic. So for example, missions for the first one, but then we'll have some time for other questions as well, questions and comments about other things. Our plan is to keep these to about an hour because we are planning to do 3 of them. But if there are more things that don't get covered, we can certainly have more. So I believe our plan is that the first one is going to be relating to missions. The second one is going to be relating more to things that are going on in worship and the impact of coronavirus and things like that, relating to healthy church team practices. And then I believe our third and final one, the plan is to be talking about what's going on in our leadership team, administratively, church budget, things like that. But of course, these are loose topics. You can ask any question at any session. If you would like to come to all 3 virtually, we would love to have you at all 3. If your questions and your particular thoughts that you want to share only relate to one of those, feel free to come to that one. So these are, again, all 3 going to happen on Sundays from 11:30 to 12:30. These are going to be fully virtual as we are following our governor's protocol. We can't have in-person gatherings of more than 10. So that means if you come to in-person worship, that'll be from 10 to 11, and then you'll have a half hour to get to a place where you can join in on a virtual call. So I know I am looking forward to these. I'm looking forward to getting to see some more faces virtually. I'm looking forward to the conversations that we're going to have. And I'm looking forward to just getting to share together about the myriad of things that are going on in the life of our church. A lot of folks have been saying that the church is closed, that the church has been closed for almost a year, and that honestly could not be further from the truth. Even when our building has been closed, our physical building, our church has continued to be active. Our church has continued to be at work, engaging in our community here and afar. And I'm really looking forward to getting to share more of that with you, because I know there are some folks who just don't know about all the ways that our church has been active. So again, our first one is going to take place next Sunday. That'll be a week from today at 11:30. Stay tuned. We will have the link that we'll share with you of how to join that Google meeting. We'll share that in our e-communication. We'll post it in the comment section on our Facebook page. And if for some reason you miss it, you can give us a call or send an email and we will make sure you have it. Well, friends, I'm really looking forward to worship today. As I mentioned, it's our second Sunday in Lent. We are in week 2 in our sermon series on sarx and spirit, and we are going to be talking about idolatry and love. Pastor John and I are continuing our pattern of preaching together. We've also got 2 more families from our first cohort of Disciple 101 who are going to be joining the church. So I'm really looking forward to that, getting to celebrate with those 2 families once again. We've got someone who's going to be remembering their baptism, and we're going to have a great service together. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope to be worshiping with you this morning, whether you're going to be joining me in the sanctuary or you're going to be tuning in from the sanctuary of your home on our live stream. Our worship will certainly be better and more complete if you are a part of it. So friends, I am looking forward to that. I will see you in just a little while. I'm going to finish this coffee and then head to church soon. Have a great morning.